wrong with me? I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna cry in this video. God. But yeah, I kinda love The Sims. Today is the 19th anniversary of the release of The Sims, and I also happen to feel like The Sims is the greatest game of all time. And yes, I'm a little bit biased because I play it a lot. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to give you guys 19 reasons why I think The Sims is so amazing. I feel like I've made some videos recently where I kind of rank on The Sims and I talk about what's wrong with it right now and what needs to be fixed and changed and stuff, but I also don't want to ignore the fact that The Sims is so important to me and so important to a lot of people, and they do a lot of things right. So let's get started talking about all the best parts and best reasons The Sims is so amazing. Also, for the record, just like a tiny side note, I'm 19, The Sims is 19, my name is Kayla Sims, their name is The Sims. You know how in school, when you're like 2 months older than your friend and you're like, haha, I win because I'm older than you? I just want to point out that haha, I win, I'm 6 months older than you. I'm just saying, you 2000s baby freak. I was born in August of 1999. I have nothing to stand on. Anyway, let's begin. For starters, I grew up with The Sims, and so did you. I don't remember a time that The Sims didn't exist, obviously, because I was 6 months old when it came out. But I feel like a lot of people, most of you guys especially, grew up with this game. It's a very important part of your childhood, and that's kind of cool that so many people have that thing. Like, we can all relate to this, like, growing up with The Sims and looking back on these memories of playing The Sims with our siblings or friends or whatever when we're kids. Like, The Sims is so central to my middle school experience. Like, if I didn't have this game when I was, like, 12, I don't know what I would have done. I relied on The Sims so much as an escape back then. I don't know. I can't even imagine my life without this game, especially now. I mean, The Sims has given me literally everything. And also, The Sims is a thing that everybody can connect on. It's the kind of thing that everybody's played at least once or seen or talked about or heard of or whatever. Like, everybody knows about The Sims. Like, it's rare to meet someone that hasn't heard of or knows what The Sims is. You'll meet someone and they're like, oh my god, I played The Sims as a kid. My sister and I used to, like, kill Sims in the pool without a ladder, haha. And then you hear it and you're like, oh, you're one of those people. But also, it's really cool to know that, like, we can all connect on this thing. It's kind of like SpongeBob and stuff like that, where it's like you make a reference and everybody gets it because you've all heard it or seen it or whatever. The Sims is also one of the longest running game franchises of all time, and you don't make it 20 years almost of a game without it being really good. Like, the fact that it's run for so long speaks volumes about how good this game is. And the community, the Sims community, is unlike anything I've ever seen on the internet. I have never been a part of or witnessed such a supportive and kind and friendly community. I think that anyone who's a part of it and also other online communities can attest to this, but you don't find something this tight-knit and friendly elsewhere online. In my experience, Twitch and Twitter especially, kind of tying in YouTube that way with Twitter, because it's hard to have like a community of friends on YouTube because there isn't as much direct contact, but on Twitter and Twitch, people are so supportive and so kind to each other. The Sims community on Twitch especially, I don't even know how to explain it. The people there are just all so good. And you don't find that elsewhere. I feel very lucky to be a part of this community because all of my friends, I would consider, honestly, every person in the Sims community my friend. Like, I have never met a Sims person, like a Sims community member that I didn't like. And that's weird, because I don't even like anybody. No, but it's just, you get what I'm saying, right? The Sims community is so cool. And the interaction with the community from the dev team is also unparalleled. You don't find dev teams that are this interactive with their players. Be it through live streams, they do guru garages where they just sit around and play the game. They do streams where they talk about new content and stuff like that. They have the Maxis Monthly where they talk about what's coming and what's going on that month. The dev team, a lot of them have Twitter accounts where they just talk and interact and ask questions. The community manager, SimGuru Kate, is amazing. I love Kate with my whole heart. She is so great, and I feel very lucky to know her and interact with her. And like I said, you don't find that kind of thing with other games. And speaking of the Sims team, they are some of the greatest and most impressive people I have ever met, and I have met them in person a few times. These people care more about the Sims than we do, which might be hard to believe, but they are genuinely so passionate and so caring about this game, and it's really cool to know that people that care this much and are this hardworking are working on this game that we love. I want to shout out quickly SimGuru Steve, Kate, Ninja, SimGuru Grant. Those people are ones that I've met and interacted with personally, and I think they're amazing. And SimGuru Grant, the lead producer, is one of the coolest people I have ever met in my life. At EA Play, I got a chance to talk to him for a while, and he's been working on The Sims for a very long time. The Sims is like his life's work, he'll call it. And Grant is one of those people that you can just listen listen to talk forever about anything because everything he says seems interesting. And he is so passionate about this game. Talking to him about The Sims and like his experience with The Sims and all this stuff was so cool and meant so much to me as like a longtime Sims player to like hear these things from him. And I just want to reassure you guys, there are some really amazing people working on this game. The Sims is one of the most, if not the most, representative games out there. You can't find a game where you can represent yourself in this kind of way. With the gender update, the content they add for different cultures, I mean, they have a lot of work to do still, but you don't find a game like this. That gender update where they made it so that all Sims of all body frames and such can wear any clothing items and you can change your Sim's gender and how if they stand or sit to pee and stuff like that. I've seen people online call it silly and pointless, but I think they're missing the idea that there are people that have never been able to find themselves in a game before, and they can do that in The Sims now. And it is so important to have that ability, and The Sims is doing that. And they have a long way to go still, obviously they always will, but they've been making waves, and no other games are doing that. The Sims is the kind of game where you can do literally whatever you want. You can be an astronaut, you can be a detective, you can be a stay-at-home mom, you can have 16 children, you can have 100 children, you can have 0, you can go to parties, you can, garden, you can be a farmer, I don't know. You can do whatever you want in this game. And there are limitations to it, obviously it's a game, but they've made it so you have this ability to tell any story you want. The whole point of the game is to tell stories, but it's your stories. And that's really cool. There's also something for everybody. You can be into cast, you can be into building, you can be into more gameplay stuff, you could be a family player, or there's literally everything. It goes back to how you can do whatever you want, but there's so much to do in The Sims. It's the kind of thing where you can never get bored. I mean, you might get bored of a household, but play a new challenge, build something. There's always something to do in The Sims. Some other games, like you play through the content and then it's over, and like, yeah, maybe you play the detective career and you're bored of Get to Work, but there's always something else to do in the game. There is so much content. They have a ton of packs for The Sims 4. They have a million packs for The Sims 3, The Sims 2, The Sims 1. There's just so much stuff out there. And yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but it exists. The Sims is also just really fun. Can that be a whole reason that it's just fun? The Sims is a very fun game. They also add a ton of content and free updates, which doesn't really happen in a lot of other games, but I think the Sims team, if they make a mistake, they'll realize it and they'll fix it. Like toddlers, yeah, they were in the base game of The Sims 4 and that sucks, but they fixed it and they fixed it well. After that whole fiasco with toddlers not being in the base game, they could have probably like strung something together and put it out more quickly, but they waited and they made them good. Toddlers are amazing in The Sims 4. And things like terrain tools and other add-ons they've done late game, people get bothered by the fact they weren't in the base game, and yeah, they should have been in the base game, but they're in the base game now, and they're really well done. They add things like the Caribbean-inspired pack and the holiday packs, which are all free content and give you guys so much more power to add things and make stories and whatever. We get a lot of content in patches, and I think people kind of brush over that fact, but we get a lot of free content. The game is also pretty accessible to play. Like, it's on a console, so a lot of people have access to it. It's also able to run on lower-end PCs. Like, a lot of games, you can't run on, like, an HP laptop, but The Sims can. And yeah, you can't run ultra graphics or whatever, but you can still play The Sims on a lower end computer, and they make an effort to make it more available to everyone like that. But some games, like, I'm gonna name drop My Time at Portia, which is a great game, but like back last year, I don't know if it's better now, but last year, even my PC could have a hard time running that game. And I have a very good PC. So it's just cool to me that so many people have access to this game because they make it intentionally easy to run. Well, easy. They make it run better on lower end computers. This is the kind of game that you can get obsessed with, right? I think with most games, you'll play it for like 2 weeks straight and you're obsessed with this game, and then you kind of get over it and play other things or finish the game or whatever and you move on. But The Sims is the kind of game that you could have that, I don't know, period of like obsession like I have with Stardew Valley all the time. I play so much Stardew Valley. But you have that like Sims obsession for a bit and you kind of put it down and you go play something else, but then you pick it back up again. You always pick it back up again. You never like give up on The Sims. At least in my experience, like you always come back to it. There's always something to come back to. It's also really easy to play. Like some games are kind of like an ordeal to play, right? Like they aren't so mindless and stuff, but it's fun to play The Sims because you can just sort of like sit there and like immerse yourself in it and not have to worry about like fighting people and losing and blah. It's just you kind of just play the game. Maybe that's just my style of gameplay, but like I don't always want to play games that require more attention. It's fun to like sit back and put on a Netflix show and just like sit there and sim for a while and like lose yourself in it. And the last reason I have is a more personal one, which might not relate to you guys all completely, but The Sims changed my life in so many ways. I mean, for one, everything I have is because of The Sims. I'm sitting in this room that I'm able to pay for because I have this YouTube channel and Twitch channel that I make content for because of the Sims game. Like, if it weren't for the Sims, I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't have any of you. I've met all of my friends because of the Sims, be it directly in the Sims community or indirectly because of like Twitch or YouTube or whatever. All of my friends come from The Sims. They gave me a chance when I was a really small creator. Shout out Amanda Drake, she's the old CM for The Sims 4. I only had 20,000 subscribers when I got my first early access pack, and I got invited to Sims Camp when I had 40,000, and they really gave me a chance when I was small, and I am so grateful for that. I don't want to cry. What the heck? Okay, I'm sorry. I feel very lucky, and I really appreciate so many people that work on the game, people that play the game itself. I don't know, it really changed my life. What is wrong with me? I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna cry in this video. God. But yeah, I kinda love The Sims. I feel like I exposed myself just now as like a major Sims nerd, which we all knew I was a major Sims nerd, but then you sit here and I'm like, guys, The Sims is so good for 20 minutes, and it's like, wow, she really is the definition of a Sims nerd. Thinking back to when I was younger, when I was in high school, my dad got cancer, and I remember being like 14 playing The Sims 4 when it had first come out, and I was a freshman in high school. My dad's like in the hospital, and The Sims was such a good escape for me, and like watching Sims YouTubers, like I'm gonna shout out Deligracy, The Sim Supply, Life Simmer, Urban Sims, Vixella. I love Sasha so much. Oh my god. These people were such big parts of my life. Like the game and also the people playing it were so important to me back then, and they still are. I mean, I consider them my friends now, but The Sims is just really, really important to me. And I'm just really glad that it's been around and that it's gonna stick around because I love this game, okay? Anyway, before I start crying again, I'm gonna go. I want to quickly mention that I'm having a birthday party for Rick Astley on Wednesday, so it might be the Sims birthday today, but Rick Astley's birthday is on Wednesday, and you should come check it out on Twitch. I'll link it down below, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. I'm gonna have cake and balloons. It's my second annual Rick Astley birthday bash. I'll see you there. I also have some more like Sims commentary style videos where I talk about like what's wrong with build mode and the best and worst packs and stuff like that. I'll link them all down below as well. I'll also link the YouTubers and Sim Gurus that I mentioned if you guys want to follow them on Twitter or check out their videos or whatever. But I'm gonna go. So make sure to go ahead and leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And in case you guys didn't know, I post new videos every single day. And so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. I really did not expect to get emotional today. This is not what I signed up for. I just wanted to make a happy video, and then I started crying. So like, we really are out here, team.